Okay, well, time to do that, I guess. So I've been having this thing where, so yesterday I ended up kind of video journaling my thoughts. That one was a bit sad, a bit messy, but after watching it, I kind of enjoyed it. Like it kind of became actually something I liked. I don't know, there's just something about being raw and sharing my thoughts, but also like I never stick to journaling on paper either. But for whatever reason, anyway, I just thought, you know what could be interesting? To do a daily journaling of sorts. But the thing about journaling even is that if you're not feeling sad or whatever, it's, I don't know, I feel like one, there's a risk of me sharing way too much, which could get a little parasocial. And in case you didn't know, I'm hoping we are not parasocial. Let me see if you're straight though. Hey, we know you're not. No. Okay, yeah, it's leveled. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, it could get a little parasocial, and you know, I don't know. I just like sharing. It's not very much a, I don't know. It's a kind of a blurry line, but I found that on a personal level, it was kind of good too. And if I show this to no one, I might as well at least show it to my therapist. And I joke a lot because I don't know. That's how I deal with things. Yesterday was a messy one. Today is a less messy one. I'm not like feeling amazing by any means, but I'm just, you know, going for it. Also, I don't know, none of the brands I'm using or whatever, and it's not even a fancy dinner. So normally, right, whenever I've done like a video cooking, I usually fake it. I don't fake it, I cook, but I cook like my best meals. I make my pad thai, my udon noodles, my whatever meals that are like kind of flashy and nice. You know, my fried rice, my fried quinoa. They're like my specialty meals that kind of look sick and good, and they are. But I can't be bothered. One of the things I've had a really hard time with as of, I don't know, since coming back from the trip is executive functioning, which to be fair, I have a hard time with all the time. But especially now, I'm having a hard time with it because for 4 months and a half, I didn't have to cook. And as much as I was good at cooking before, but like good-ish at cooking before, I'm definitely struggling at doing the same thing now because it's not my routine. I just don't have it in my routine. And honestly, I've been good at making breakfast. Like I start my day and I'm disciplined and I'm like, yes, breakfast, a solid breakfast, come on. And I do it, but then I get to midday and I give up on my executive functioning kind of personal tasks, like making dinner and any other tasks that I didn't get done in the morning. There could be something about my meds also not working as much anymore, but that's about to change in maybe 2-3 days because I have to call my doctor for a new prescription either ways because it's empty in 2 days. But yeah, I debated doing this in the first place because I'm literally making some mac and cheese with some vegan chicken strips. So vegan mac and cheese, vegan chicken strips. It's not fancy by any means. It's all right, you know? It's an okay meal. And I end up eating this more often than the fancy other shit I cook. And that's because, once again, the executive functioning in general, even before leaving on the trip, the bigger meal is like I don't know. I love it so much too. It's a confusing thing, but man, ADHD has been confusing for a long time, so I don't know. I'm currently just chit-chatting because I'm just waiting for it to boil, but my mission is journal until I'm done cooking and end it there. So today was a little less rough. Yesterday I had an insane panic attack and I recorded my first one. But today was like no panic attacks, but I definitely woke up with a bit of a shit feeling. It helps that today there was hella sunlight. Like it was sunny outside. It's cold, but sunny, which you win some, you lose some. I'm also gonna tie my hair because I don't want it everywhere. Where is it? Haha, I got my frizzy. There you go. So, in here I can use you. I can use you to see if I look stupid. Yeah, I don't know. Today was decent-ish. I was able to do some stuff that was overwhelming yesterday. I find literally even computer things like computer research overwhelms me eventually. I think there's something to be said about the amount of choice and the lack of clear answers. I don't know if it's just me, or I think other ADHD people also get that, but like I kind of just want clear fucking answers. And a lot of the internet is not that. A lot of it is like, someone will make a video being like, the 5 best this you need to buy. And then literally within the video be like, yeah, but it's kind of up to you. Like, I'm not sure actually. On a personal level, I wouldn't know which one to pick. And it's like, motherfucker. It's a tiny bit of a pet peeve or frustration of mine for sure. Okay. Because yeah, it's like, I'm not saying their answer needs to be right, but it's almost like when people don't make a stand, when they don't stand by a point, then I have a hard time taking any of their words seriously. Like I could, if I was trying to tell you, I don't know, fucking best 3, I don't know anything, man. Best 3 fucking plants to get, right? I would end up telling you at least my favorite 3. I'd be like, hey, it's up to you, but here's my 3. Number 1 is Monstera. So there you go. See? The irony is my favorite 3 plants are the ones I have. So I have Monstera, I have Money Tree, and I had a coffee plant. I let that one die. Yikes. But, they were my favorite 3. Okay, yeah, I gotta get started on this other thing. It's gonna be tricky. So I debated also just honestly doing my journaling when I'm sitting still. And part of me is like for it or against it, because I don't want it to be like, I don't know. 1, here I'm distracted. That's a very true situation that comes out of this. I'm distracted, so I don't really get to actually dive deep. You know what? I think I'm also gonna stop looking. I've been thinking about looking at you, but the truth is, if I do that, then I'm not in my personal little space, and so I'm not journaling. And for it to be truthful, maybe I need to forget that you're there. But yeah, I've kind of debated just, I don't know, just sitting while I do it, because it does feel like I can dive within, like dig deeper when I do that. But it's also like, I don't need to fucking dig deep all the time. And that, by that I mean like, not that I'm trying not to, but it's more like, depends on the mood, Sometimes I'm in a mood to dig. And I don't know if that's special to me or not, but special to me. No, but I personally, I guess I like digging because, now I know exactly why. So with ADHD, right? A lot of us growing up, we're kind of told, you're broken, you're fucked, like, figure it out. You're so much to handle. Figure your shit out, please, so we don't have to, like, help us deal with you. You're told that a lot. And I can't believe I didn't know I had ADHD this whole time, because everything was experienced exactly the same in my life, The whole, like, you can't function, you're not good. And right now I am struggling a lot with functioning and my perspective on it, because I think of all the demons I have from exactly that time in my life where, yeah, I don't know. And there I go zoning out. I don't expect any of these to make sense, because honestly, I'm not like, haha, this is the best content ever. My goal with this is more like be raw and share what it really is to me, or what my mind and mindset are in. Today was sunny. Oh, it also helps that honestly I shaved. Like, it's stupid, but I have this really difficult time when I have a beard that kind of starts to get messy, and that's because I feel like I look like shit, and so I feel like shit. And when I shave, it's better. Like, I like my face better. I feel like I look better, and so I feel better. The thing about it is, obviously, I don't have the executive functioning to shave exactly at the right time every time, Like, a lot of the times I end up shaving way too late, despite knowing how much it changes my mood. I let it go for way too, oh fuck, I forgot I have to cut these. Damn it. Okay, wait, let's go easier on the butter. I forgot. And they're always hard to cut too, and I don't think that's sharp anymore. Shit. All right, well, we're gonna try. Also, that might be really loud. Sorry for that. But either ways, I'm gonna be all over the place. Honestly, this is me all the time though. If you ever thought, so these are frozen, and sometimes I have a good trick for it. Sometimes I don't, because it's, there you go. You actually don't want to snap your knife on your cutting board because that just dulls your blade faster. I hate tossing them in one at a time, but I will because the thing's already kind of cooking. And I know normally like proper form is with the knuckle, but I just kind of keep my fingers far with this because the knuckle trick is a little trickier because it's frozen. And so it being frozen makes the whole controlling of it a little different. But either way, okay. Well, I guess it still works. I'm getting my trick again. See, that's what happens. You don't cook for 4 months, you forget your technique. But now I got it. All you gotta do is put your weight on the butt of the knife. Also, I have a shit cutting board, so that thing keeps bouncing. I don't know when it got curved though. It was curved before I left. Anyways, emotions. I struggle with these, man. It's hard to, like even making this, right? I think I'm giving myself this as a challenge. One, a challenge to film every day and kind of figure out a cool shot with it. Two, a challenge to share my emotions, because even before I left, one of my biggest challenges that I had with this whole content thing is I don't know when to share. And by that, I mean, when I'm too happy, I feel bad about sharing because I don't want to shove it in people's faces. And when I'm sad and too depressed, which, sorry about that, when I'm sad and too depressed, I feel bad about sharing because I don't want to fucking be a downer. I don't want to be like, oh, look at me, I'm so depressed. So this is kind of a challenge I'm giving myself instead. Hopefully sharing some life experience or life lessons along the way. Or maybe it never has value. Fuck it, final, you know? I'm almost there. I'm halfway through, I think. My ear is actually literally ringing from that one. God damn. Come on, you fucking thing. I hate when it's like, because technically it being frozen makes it harder to cut through. Okay. There you go. Yeah, and life is scary to share. We also live in a day and age where like, it's almost the norm to overshare on the internet. You know, funny enough, I remember oversharing way before it was cool. And by that, I mean, when I was in college, like 2012, Twitter, and that account is gone now, but I had a Twitter account. Like even the one I have today is not the one from back then. That one disappeared. I have no clue what the fuck happened to it. Ooh, that was almost really bad. But I used to fucking like, you know, say all my stuff on the internet already. So that's kind of why, in a way, it's not difficult. Fuck, I hate when it snaps through. Also, sometimes it's literally just the board making that sound because it's flipping. Anyways, it's weird, man. You put your stuff out for anyone to critique, and you say to yourself, it's because I'm strong and I don't care, but truly it's because you're still fucking deeply afraid of what might come out of that. But once again, like I said earlier, it's kind of why I forced myself to do it. That's kind of my life, which, if I loop it all back, I think is also linked to the whole like, figure your shit out, help us deal with you. I think a lot of that is because, so like a lot of my wanting to show it, you know, a lot of my, you're struggling with doing this thing, so you should instead do it, you know? Like it's not like, I don't get to back out. I've learned recently, like on the trip, because honestly, between fight or flight, I never knew what my answer was, and I kind of thought it was flight. But I've learned on this trip that my answer for fight or flight is actually fight. And that's honestly like weird, I guess, because I really thought it was flight. I thought I was a coward, you know? Because usually when something happens, I like to retreat, but like to myself so that I can deal with it. But actually what I do when I retreat is because I fight for it. I retrieve to figure shit out. I retreat to figure shit out. I actually isolate so that I can dive deep and do the fucking painful thoughts and then figure that out and then come back like winning. So I'm not at all flighting. I'm not at all like, yeah, I'm not fleeing. Oh, that's the fucking word. Hey, I'm French, by the way, so my English is a little bad at times. But yeah, I'm not fleeing. You know, it turns out, and I discovered now, that I, in fact, instead fight. And yeah, that all comes from the damage of being told, figure your shit out. That one, man. So if you're new, or just, I don't know, I shouldn't expect anyone to know my shit, but I'm 29 years old. I just turned 29, like last month, 2 weeks ago or so. And I discovered when I was 27 that I have ADHD. So this is still like 2 years new to me. And one, there's a side of that that's like finally understanding it. Like because I get to put in time and stuff and research. And the other side is also sadly like a lot of damage that's already been done and kind of trying to unlearn it, but having it be more of a fight inside my head. That's kind of how it happens. Just kind of one fighting the other, like my old thoughts that were not beat into me, right? Not beat physically, but beat into me mentally, like verbally. It's really a shame because I think back then, you know, a lot of people were afraid to say their kid had ADHD or whatever. And this isn't my mom. Like, first of all, my mom has ADHD. Even if she's not diagnosed, I ended up that way for a reason. If you step in my house for 2 minutes, you fucking figure it out. You're like, yeah, of course, this came from that. Procreation 101. This came from that. But yeah, so when my teachers were like telling my mom about it, like, hey, you might have like ADHD, you know, you should probably get it checked. It was always followed with, but he's doing good in school. So, you know, is it really necessary? Does he really have to be medicated? And at the time, it's true that fucking Ritalin was like making people into zombies. And specifically, my sister was already on Ritalin because my sister has a learning disability. Or, no, not just a learning disability. Is it? She has dysphagia, which is a disability. And she was born with it. Like, it was clear and stuff. So she was already on Ritalin, so my family kind of had the experience of what it's like to see someone go zombie a bit, and it wasn't great. And I was smart, so my mom was just like, meh. Now, and I've talked about that with my mom, but now where I wish it had gone different is more the knowledge. You know, having certain ideas about the medication is one thing, but had I known, a lot of damage would have had a chance to not be made. I mean, a lot of it still would, because a lot of people knew from the get-go, still ended up hella damaged from everyone around us, because even if you know from the get-go, everybody else around doesn't like know how to deal with it, how to approach it, or more like how to address us. And more, I'm also like connecting to the idea that ADHD as a name for a condition is actually not, like it's not a good name, because it's not actually an attention deficit and it's not a hyperactive deficit. Because we're focused as fuck, so it's not that. If I hyperfocus, good luck. I'm gone for like 2 days, you know, 3 or whatever, however long, 6 hours. But definitely if I'm in a hyper-focused mood, we forget everything, right? So it's not a focus difficulty. And hyperactive is like, yeah, I got energy, but it's because I got everything else. But even that, I end up dead so much of the time. So it's like hyperactive isn't a good word for it. It's a hyperactive mind, but not a hyperactive body, which a lot of people would think. So that's another thing, right? I wasn't the kid that was jumping around and being crazy. So they weren't like, oh, clearly there's a fucking problem. But my mind's been going crazy. And I also have like, thanks to all that, depression, anxiety is something I've dealt with my whole life. That's just normal. They've said, you know, once you have a actual disability within your body, it's pretty common for the body to have others. Oh no, one of them fucking yeeted out. Don't burn, don't burn, don't burn. Ah. But yeah, it's like, it's very common for once you have a condition of sorts to have other conditions, right? Your body's already prone to having a condition, so makes sense. So a lot of us are hyper flexible, right? Like prone to other sicknesses, not sicknesses, disabilities is better, or just conditions. And there you go. The whole thought is gone. I'm sorry if I led you on to this long thing, but it's gone, man. That's kind of how my mind works, and sometimes it's frustrating. That's, I don't know, maybe it's a good example. I don't know if you have it or not, but for us, man, you would think ADHD is just a joke, and that's why that name isn't good anymore, because it makes people think it's funny. ADHD is entertaining. You know, it's funny. Ah, ha, ha. They're funny, they're struggling. They get lost mid-conversation. It's like, no, I get lost mid-conversation. I forget what I was going on. It could be the most passionate tangent that I'm going on, and then all of a sudden, gone. And it's tough emotionally. And it freaks me out even on the you know, like this, literally this scares me. Like doing this every day, journaling, because every day is so different. For us, literally every day is a new day. Like fucking reset. Start from 0 or start from like 0.5. Oh shit, I just burnt my finger. Cold water. Yeah, every day's a new day, and I'm afraid because what if this makes me look crazy? What if this makes me look like I'm really fucking up and down, you know? Because I don't have bipolar. I did all the tests, right? Even to diagnose me with ADHD, I had to go through the other quizzes because they were like, what if it's something else? But no, that's the one I scored on. Yeah, it's scary, man. It's hard to. I think I've been having a really hard time figuring out my mind, and the more I dive into it, the more I get confused. Also, it doesn't help because, in a way, I forget everything I learned. Okay, these are ready. I forget everything I learned, right? So every time I dive a bit more into my mind, ooh, hold on, I gotta turn this on. Nice, but everything's ready, so. And that means I also have to finish my talking if everything is almost ready. Aha! Okay, I just wanted to mix this so it wasn't stuck to the bottom. Cool. All right, now this. I don't need you. Where's that? I think it's here. Yes. Haha. Okay. I'm like, also, I need to conclude. And then I'm like, what the fuck was I saying? Great. I don't know. I have no clue. My only thought is my brain now goes to the fight or flight thing. And I'm like, no, this is like 4 subjects ago. Yeah. I don't know if I'm doing this for, I don't know if this is good or not, but I don't care. Everything's worth a shot, you know? What? I dropped some food in the sink. Yeah, everything's worth a shot. Like, what am I known for if not sharing my feelings? Well, I guess I'm also known for making people bust. But way before that, I was known for my feelings and helping for that. So I guess, plus, I mean, shit, feelings I have. So clearly, I might as well use them, right? I've been gifted with a severely high amount of feelings. So, oh, I need this. I need the milk. I need milk. He needs some milk. Okay. I was going to say I didn't get to anything deep, but literally just now I'm getting to it because I feel ashamed even of this because I wasted this. I don't feel like I jumped in, you know, I don't feel like I went in depth. I don't feel like I actually dove in and talked about whatever I'm feeling or thinking. I just more explained other shit and yapped. And maybe one of the tricks is to think that I'm not recording this for anyone. Maybe one of the tricks is think that I'm just recording this for me because, well, ultimately I am. So I guess that's what a journal is too, you know? It's you sharing with yourself. writing and kind of just putting it out there. And therapy has been incredible to me because saying something out loud is what makes it like make sense. Because in my brain, there's a lot of fucking thoughts, but somehow saying them out loud has been the thing that usually sometimes I go to therapy and my therapist doesn't have to say a word. And then I come out and I'm like, thanks, that was great. I really understand everything now. And that's why this idea, honestly, of like doing a video journaling set thingy, daily thing, feels more plausible to me than writing daily, because I've never stuck to it and I still never do. Versus like camera is, I've made it so fucking, god damn it, I'm dropping food everywhere. I hate this. I actually hate dropping food so much. It's one of my sensorial things that I fucking hate. Okay. Yeah, I just put a little bit of milk. My energy is now crashing. This used probably whatever amount of executive functioning I had left. And I will, I don't know, crash after this. I debated also if I should film in evenings and then like post the next day, or if I should film the morning after. But since I said every day is a new day, I feel like the morning after I would miss out on some of the subtleties of each day. I'd miss out on some of the feelings because they really do go away and I really can hardly explain them the day after. But either way, I don't know, man. Life is tricky, but you know what the thing is? And I struggle with that one a lot myself, is you still choose to go for it, you know? Like, one of the biggest questions that I ask myself all the time is, why the fuck am I going through this every day? Why is my mind what it is? And why am I choosing to actually go with it every day, to fight it, to figure it out, to do the work, to, I don't know, just to live this life that is very confusing in my brain, right? And I still haven't gone with the answer that is just giving up, you know? That my answer has always been still, well, whatever, I'm going to keep doing it. I don't know if it's in the hopes that one day it doesn't happen, because since it's a condition, I don't think it'll ever not happen. And yet that thought doesn't scare me either. It doesn't like terrify me to know that it might never change and my brain might always be my brain. Well, duh, but you know what I mean? So I don't know. And I don't know that I have forever to do this. All I know is right now I can do it. And maybe I find some solace in that, the doing of it. Maybe I can find a new purpose in there, which is just sharing. And I don't know, man. If anything, I can hope to set an example, maybe. But honestly, I'm probably a horrible example of many, many, many things. So even there, I don't know. And just like yesterday, my mind goes, who the fuck are you to think you can be an example? Well, who the fuck am I not to think that? Huh? That's right, brain. Suck a dick. But that's true too, you know? Whenever you question yourself, like, who am I to do this? One, there's 1,000 idiots that don't deserve to do this, that don't have a reason or a purpose doing the thing, that still do the thing you're questioning, right? And they're not questioning it. That's exactly where the flag is. These people think, of course. So, us questioning it in the first place is a sign that we are totally okay to do it. And also, just in general, like, I know I'm using metal with this. I do it every time. Best believe it's still been great, so. I was going to say something. Oh yeah, who am I to do this? Well, who am I not to? And that's very true, you know? Like, ultimately, clearly, I have something to share. And that doesn't mean I'm a fucking, I don't know, angel. I'm clearly not. I'm fucking not. If I was, that's not the way angels would be treated. Yikes. But, yeah, if in life you wonder, who am I to do this? you could just as much ask the question, who am I not to? You know? Like, if you're someone that wants to talk about something or do a thing, doesn't that give you more right than anybody else to do it? Because your mind wants to? Because what the fuck's the point of life if you don't do what your mind and heart want, you know? Don't judge. This is pretty much, usually it's a little more toasted on the fake chicken. I have to hide my face for it to focus. Don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. I'm like terrified. Okay. I don't know if it focused, I don't care. Usually it's a little more brown from like being toasted and whatnot. But yeah, I guess if there's a takeaway is I gotta keep doing what I'm doing. I gotta keep doing what I do for me. I gotta keep fighting. Like, since my fight response is doing this somehow. My fight response is putting myself in that situation that I fear, right? And it's like, fuck, am I even allowed to do this? And then it's like, well, whether you are or not, I'm gonna fucking force myself to do it, and I'll find out. And usually the answer is, yeah, I'm okay to do it. And it's been that every other time. So hopefully you enjoy this. And if not, that's totally okay too. Go about your day and do your thing. And I'm gonna go about my day and do mine. And share tomorrow. Check in tomorrow to see if I have another mental breakdown or if I'm having a great day. Okay, I don't know. Thanks for hanging out.